Priti Patel took a huge swipe at Alastair Campbell during her speech at the virtual Conservative conference after Tony Blair's former spin doctor mocked the Home Secretary for her accent on Twitter. Alastair Campbell attacked Priti Patel on Twitter last week in a bitter attempt to shame the Home Secretary for her accent. Mr. Campbell ranted, "I don't want a Home Secretary who can't pronounce AG at the end of a word. I don't want a Home Secretary who talks the kind of nonsense Priti Patel is talking now. I don't want a Home Secretary who supports breaking the law." As for the testing fiasco. But speaking at the virtual Conservative Party conference on Sunday, the Home Secretary hit back, for those defending the broken system, the traffickers, the do-gooders, the lefty lawyers, the Labour Party, they are defending the indefensible. "If at times that means being unpopular on Twitter, I will bear it. If at times it means Tony Blair's spin doctor mocking my accent, so be it. And if at times it means Labour members of Parliament attempting to silence me because I do not conform to what their idea of an ethnic minority woman should stand for, I will stomach it. Because as Conservatives, we do not measure the depth of our compassion in 280 characters on Twitter, but on the actions we take, and the choices we make." Former Home Secretary Sajid Javid also hit back at the former Blair advisor. He fumed on Twitter, "There should be no room in politics for such blatant snobbery. I want a Home Secretary who works incredibly hard at keeping the country safe. We have that in Priti Patel." A Tory source told The Sun, "What AF*** King snob. I don't recall Campbell having an issue with accents when his old boss was trying to sound down with the kids." Priti Patel also used her speech to Tory members to take aim at the tactics of Black Lives Matter and Extinction Rebellion protesters, as she criticized the hooliganism and thuggery seen on the country's streets. Social media video clips showed police in Westminster having objects hurled at them by anti-racist campaigners earlier this year, while a statue of Sir Winston Churchill had to be boarded up to protect it from vandalism during the Black Lives Matter protests. In Bristol, those taking to the streets as part of the protests, sparked by the death of George Floyd in the U.S., tore down a statue of Edward Colston, who made his wealth through the slave trade. There was also widespread condemnation last month when Extinction Rebellion climate change protesters blockaded the printing presses of national newspapers.